I swear to God, I might never back another Mythic Games game. Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Game Brigade. I'm Brian. Welcome to my channel. And today we're going to be doing the recap for December. If you are new to the show, we do these videos where we cover what I did in the past month and have conversations around my hobbies and other things going around in my life. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned. So we're going to be talking today about some of the games I got for Christmas, as well as just December in general, some of the movies we've been talking about that we've been covering, and then some misfortunes that I'm having with Mythic Games. So that sounds interesting. Make sure you stay tuned for the whole show. Okay, so welcome guys to the episode. I appreciate everyone for coming in. I hope you all had a great, lovely holiday season. You might have noticed I haven't posted any videos for maybe 2 weeks now, probably for the entire end of December. I really want to take some time for my mental health, spend time with my family, and really enjoy the holiday season. So it was great, but it's January 1st as of, I believe, still January 1st, still technically the 1st. And we are back at it here on the channel. I do have some plans that I'm going to be implementing for the channel, so hopefully you guys will see those changes coming soon regarding content, upload schedules, and different types of serial episodes. I want to try different things. I've talked about this a lot, so hopefully I can actually launch for once instead of having a failure to launch. But we'll try again. As we've been talking Marvel movies, we have been digging through the Marvel movies, trying to go through the timeline as we go on. And it is important that we get there because Spider-Man just hit the theaters and we haven't had a chance to see that yet. And my wife wants to see that really bad. And I told her, well, we have to catch up to that movie, so we're not going to be able to watch it. So we watched, I don't think we talked about this one last time, but we watched Iron Man 3 this last month. And I had never seen Iron Man 3 from completion. I had seen spoilers. And first off, spoilers, these movies are old, but if you haven't seen these movies, just move forward, skip forward about 5 minutes. Anyways, Iron Man 3 had an incredible opportunity, in my opinion, to have a very interesting villain. And obviously, if you know the movie, there's a twist where the villain's not really, it's a red herring of a villain, and it's another villain that was introduced earlier in the movie. And I didn't care for that guy as much. The whole red glowing people wasn't as engaging or exciting to me as the Mandarin had been. So I feel like they missed it on that one. I don't know. I'm interested in other people's thoughts because I missed the entire discussion period when these movies were in theaters and they were kind of like popular culture. I didn't see them, so I didn't get a chance to actually talk to anyone. But I'd probably rate Iron Man 3 like a low 7, probably 7 out of 10. It was good. It was entertaining. I enjoyed it. But it wasn't, I actually probably would say I enjoyed almost Iron Man 2 better than Iron Man 3. So that's interesting. And I thought Iron Man 2 was pretty weak the first time I watched it. Iron Man's still probably better of the 3 trilogy. And then we were on Thor 2. I don't know Thor 2's bottom headline. This one I actually saw in theaters. And I had never seen Thor previously, so I had no clue what the heck was going on when I saw it in theaters. And we are actually still stalled out on this one. We're about a quarter, maybe halfway through on this one. And my wife and I just were not being pulled in to the movie that I feel like we should have been. And so when we were like halfway, I was like, we should probably stop watching this because we started checking our phones, and that's not how I like to approach movies. I want to really absorb the content and really enjoy it. So unfortunately, we paused it and we've kind of stalled out there because we haven't even gone back. We've been watching other TV shows, which you guys don't care about what TV shows we're talking about, but because I'm probably like only one watching them. But anyways, that's what we did. But I did see an interesting movie on Netflix recently. I don't know if you guys ever watch I need to get my dice or something. I need to get something fiddly other than my pen because I like to fiddle with it. I don't know if you guys have seen Netflix original movies. The one that I just watched this month that I really wanted to talk about was The Midnight Sky, directed by George Clooney and also starring George Clooney. Really enjoyed it. Uh, Premise of the movie is that the world is having an apocalyptic level event, and George Clooney will be one of the last survivors on Earth, and he's trying to contact a spaceship in space as it's returning to Earth. And so it's that kind of dynamic that they are dealing with, and really interesting movie. I started crying at the end when there's some things that start clicking and revealing. And I'm an emotional guy as it is. I really have a lot of empathy for movies. I don't know why. I feel characters very much. And so I felt the movie. I felt the character. When everything started clicking and understanding to me, really was good. The only thing I thought was interesting, though, is about 3/4 of the movie through, I was like, I feel like I'm watching two entirely different movies. You have the spaceship crew doing what they're doing, and then you have George Clooney doing what he's doing, and they felt like totally different movies, and you could easily watch one and watch the other. In fact, the spaceship one, you could almost felt like I can't remember that one movie that also featured George Clooney. I think Sandra Bullock maybe as well, where they're in space and stuff happens. They get hit by some debris. That's kind of what like the spaceship movie felt like. And then down here was like the road or something. Just completely different in terms of the aspects. But I enjoyed it, and I would recommend people to watch that movie. I'd probably give it like a mid-8, an 8.5 or maybe a low 8. It's somewhere in that 8 to 8.5. I enjoyed it, and I probably would maybe watch it one more time just to see things that were revealed later, to see if I could pick them up better or see if they drop things better, kind of like an M. Night Shyamalan-like thing. But other than that, it'd probably be a one and done, or maybe 2 times and done. So that's that. So let's talk about what did I acquire? What did we back? Did we sell anything? I did sell a game. For first time, I finally sold a game. Let's talk about that one. So as we talked about one of my last videos, we did maybe a few videos back, we did games leaving the collection. I had posted assortment of my collection and having a very hard time, as a matter of fact, selling some of those games. But we did move one. So we sold Shadows over Camelot. That was my second copy, and we sold that one for my asking price. So that was good. I did price that lower than I felt market value was, but to be honest, I just wanted to move it, and it took still, even that below market of what I've been seeing sold and where I see people posting it, still took longer, like a week, for someone to pick it up and buy it. So that was interesting. I hope the guy enjoys it. He was also new to the board gaming realm, and he said that he felt like he had heard this was a Grail type game, that he might not play it, but it was a game that he needed in his collection. And so I totally understand that, because that's why I have it in my collection. I might never play it, but it's a game I want in my collection. So he was happy with that. We had a lot of bites on my Everdell listing, but it all fizzled out, or people were lowballing me, taking off $30 off the price that I had listing and also wanting me to pay for shipping. So it's like, that's like $50 off. At that point, it's the price of just buying Everdell, the base game. It's like, it was crazy. So haven't had luck doing that. Nothing else has sold. What really stinks is I was re-putting some of the games back in the shelf. I've got one called Puzzle Strike, and it was in pretty much a near mint condition copy of this 2012 game. And as I was pushing it back in the shelf, something caught on my shelf, and it actually split the corner, obviously right here, of the game. And so that's unfortunate. So that game just halved the value, in my opinion. Probably went from, it still wasn't a very expensive game, maybe a $25 game. Maybe now I can get $10 out of it, because that's what I would probably expect to pay for it at that point if I have a damaged box. So that's unfortunate. But everything other than that, Waste Nights has not moved. I have that listed. Again, people reaching out to me. It was funny. I've had people even say, hey, is this you, the guy doing this playthrough video? I'm like, yep, that's me. That's my copy of Waste Nights. That's what I'm selling if you're interested in it. And still no bites. So I thought originally when I posted those games that because it was Christmas, that maybe people would be buying them as gifts. But maybe now, after thinking about it, a lot of gamers buy games for themselves. And so maybe December is the worst time to sell games, because people are buying gifts for other people. So we'll try again. Maybe I'll try maybe late January, maybe early February. See if we can sell some of those games, because we do need to clear some room, because as you can see here in a short while, we are getting new games coming in. So the first one, I happen to pull out the expansion. Way over here. First one, we've already seen this because I did an unboxing video for it, but Uprising. This is the Arch Nemesis expansion. I just pulled this out because we've got the other one back here. But this is like one of the expansions that came with the game. Nemesis was the first one we got this month, and really have enjoyed this one. We played this one once so far. In fact, I think I got this in November, now that I'm thinking about it. But I got super sick and I couldn't play it. So we finally played this in December. And I actually have a second copy that I will be selling that as well. If you are interested in that second copy, people, because I've gotten emails from people interested in some of my games, send me an email to the one listed below. I've got a full pledge for sale. Let's talk about this big behemoth. This came in, this massive game. Oh. Move this. So, kind of hide my face here for a second. Kingdom Death Monster 1.6. So this came in. I love this matte black finish with the glossy textured logo, as well as on the sides it just says Monster. Really cool design. I have flipped through the book in here, but I haven't actually delved into like the mini pack. There's a big pack in here that's for the minis, and I haven't even touched it, and I'm probably still intimidated. I'm not gonna lie, I am intimidated by this game. I don't know how hard it is, and I haven't like really looked in the rules, but I've heard that it's a heavy game and it's hard and it's mean. So I am hesitant. I'm gonna just move this out of the way real quick. Go right there. Okay, so I'm hesitant of wanting to dive into it, but this was a game that I've wanted in my collection as well. It's kind of like one of those ones that I've heard so much about that I was like, I just kind of want it. But I am intending to play this. I just have to get the confidence to build it and go through it, and that'll happen in time. But this did come. Currently, it's sitting at the top of my shelf as kind of like a centerpiece item. And I really, as I said, really love the box art for this one. So we also got, I'm going to have to move, unfortunately, all these games because they are just not in a good position for me to show, like, grab things. I put them way over there, and it's way out of position. This is Joan of Arc, the Teutonic Knights expansion. So Joan of Arc finally pledged. And we will be talking more about this Mythic Games, and specifically Joan of Arc, at the end of the show. But I did want to say that this came, and then we're just going to leave it at that. Because spoilers. Okay. I might need to do this from now on, is just make sure all the games, maybe have like a little small shelf underneath here, for like games to place. Because putting them on the table I don't think is going to work anymore. But anyways, we have here Mage Knight, the Ultimate Edition. This was a Black Friday purchase to myself. Arrived, I think, maybe around December 1st. And this was a gift to myself. I would say a Christmas gift to myself. Still haven't opened it. But this was a Black Friday deal, flash sale. And this Ultimate Edition was only $50, if I remember right, roughly around $50. And while I was never intending to buy Mage Knight, I was always interested in the mechanics, but I never really wanted to buy it for the price. But $50 is a steal. So I'm going to hold on to this and, keep it on the shelf until I'm ready to actually open it. But for right now, it'll stay sealed. I've got plenty of other games that I need to get through, especially campaign games. Man, brain workout a little bit. And so that is going to be backburnered for a little bit. But if you see it, I'm one of those people that if I see a game that's such a good deal, I have such a hard time saying no. So then that is all that I got from my purchases. But my wife bought me some things. First, she got me, and this was some of my Christmas gifts. Even has Christmas tape still on here. That's kind of funny. Anno 1800 was the first game, and Anno I play even right now. I'm actually playing actively right now. Anno 1800. It's a Ubisoft game, and in Anno you are going to be playing I don't say a civilization, because I assume you're all, there's no identifiable countries, but you're playing a group of people, and you're building your cities or your towns. You start from like a little village, you build it to a town, and you're growing. And you're going from farmers to like blue collar worker, then to engineers and scientists. You're building up to investors. You're just building up the levels, and it's a great PC game. I love the game. We play 3-player competitive, or I'd say competitive. It's not really competitive, but we play against each other still on multiplayer. And when I saw that the game was coming to the board game, and it's gotten great reviews from people that say it's just a great economic little builder. So this is one we picked up, and from what I gather, it plays very similar in feel to how the PC game plays. So I'm very much looking forward to this one. Players 2 to 4, playtime 120 minutes. So Anno 1800. All right, this one still has a price tag on it. We'll leave it for now. Dune Imperium. This was another Christmas gift from my wife. This one was requested by me. I told her I was really looking forward to Dune. I told her I didn't know if the expansion was out yet for this one, but specifically look for both. I don't think the expansion's out yet. So just got this one, still in seal. I'm hoping to get this played in the month of January. If not, it'll get played relatively soon. I haven't seen the HBO movie. You'll know when I see it because we'll talk about it on this show. But yeah, Dune Imperium. Really looking forward to this one in terms of a deck builder. And I hear it's a pretty solid game. And for some reason, I'm kind of like fighting the urge to play. And this is very weird, guys. This is like a mental thing. Lost Ruins of Arnak. I'm just like, you know what? Everyone else is playing it. I don't want to play it. But Dune Imperium was like the other one that was like highly talked about. So I was like, you know what? We'll play Dune. I'll play one of them. And then this one was another one, also sells a price tag, bought from the same local game store. Dune, The House Secrets, and this is This is like a detective game. I don't know who makes this game. Portal Games, I believe, made this. Yeah, Portal Games. And this one's basically a detective-like series game where you're going to be solving something. I don't want to say cases because that's what you do in detective. I don't know how it works in here, but I talked about this actually. This was like a fake Kickstarter that they did, and turns out I actually did get the exclusives for the Kickstarter, but paid retail pricing. Kinda, you can probably get this cheaper if you went to like an online retailer, but we supported our local store. But we also got the Kickstarter bonuses with it. And I say Kickstarter, crowdfunding, same thing. But they were wanting like 50 some bucks plus $20 shipping. So I think it's still a win for us. So that wraps up all the games we got. I did want to talk about some of the games we played. It was a lighter month this month, but I did play some new games to me. So I think that's kind of interesting. So let's see here. We played some Marvel Champions, the card game. These were games that we were playing. Tried to play some of the campaigns. So this one was with Matt. So I think we were playing the Red Skull campaign together. Then we got a game of Kemet. We've been playing a lot of Kemet lately. So we got some Kemet in. Really, really liking Kemet. And we've been playing a lot of 4-player. We did get a 5-player game player in here somewhere. And really, really enjoying it. In fact, I wish I had better strategies. I'm really trying to push the green tiles, which was one of the new tiles. Plus, it's a little board that comes with it. But I just haven't been doing very well. But in general, I enjoy Kemet as an area control game, because I don't think area control is necessarily my favorite like combat mechanic in terms of games, but it's fine. We got more games of Betrayal Legacy. As you guys know, we've been trying to get through Betrayal Legacy. I think we have 2 new scenarios left, and then we are done with that. More Marvel Champions. These were me playing I have 2. I played one, realized I played something wrong, and then I have another version of me playing it again. And that was the playthrough that I did with Captain Marvel. So you haven't seen that video. Not a lot of people did. I think it still has less than 200 views for that game. I don't think I filmed that playthrough the best that I could have, unfortunately. But it was a great playthrough for people who want to see the power that built that deck in that Captain Marvel, where you can just burst so much freaking damage. So I think it's a good example of that. Then we played Uprising: Curse of the Last Emperor. We did not win that one. I mentioned we played that earlier this month. So we played that. I believe we played a 3-player. We played 3-player, yeah, and the game won. And then we played. So then I did. This was on December 26th. I did a staycation on December 26th, where we went to a local hotel. I brought one of my friends from the board game group. Got them a room. I got myself a room. And we just did a staycation with our families at the hotel. I've never done that before. I thought it'd be kind of fun to do that. And I had some redemption points I had to use with their hotel. So I treated my friend, and he brought down some board games. He asked if he could bring games. And I thought it was great, because we don't get to play other people in our player group's games very often. So we got to play his. So we tried Air, Land, and Sea, which is a card game where it's a 2-player card game, where you're going to be playing cards into levels of either the land column, the sea column, or the air column, and you're trying to win 2 of the 3 columns, and each card has a power level up to 6. So you're going to add up the points, and you're going to play your cards, and you only have so many cards in your hand. You have 6 cards, so there's a lot of bluffing, because you can play cards upside down and potentially flip them up. And it's strategy, because you're trying to bait people to play too much into one or maybe win another. So we played 3 games of that, and so we played best out of 3. I won 2, he won 1. The problem I had with Air, Land, and Sea, a little bit felt like it could be just randomized in terms of who got a better hand, because there's not a lot of manipulation in terms of drawing cards. I play a lot of Magic, or I used to play a lot of Magic, and I know the importance of card draw. That's how you can really strategize better and get more options to make plays. And there's only one card that draws a card, and it's play a card and take the top one off and place it face down. And then hopefully you're hoping it's good, and you can turn it face up with the cards in your hand. Other than that, it's just using strategy with the abilities of the cards that are in your hand. And if you just get a bad draw, you just get a bad draw. Or if your opponent gets a very good draw, you just might not be able to win. And then we played Lost Cities, and this game was another card game, kind of a similar feel a little bit to Air, Land, and Sea, but this one you had to make paths into a color, and you have to play numbers in sequence order, so 2, 3, 4, all the way to 10, but there's only one number in those colors, and so your opponent is also trying to do the same thing. And if you play a 5, you can't play a 4. You have to play a 6. The thing is, though, is if you start a line, an order in a color, it automatically starts like negative 20 points. And if you have these bonus points, it goes negative 40 points. They're each like negative 20 points, but they double your points. So you have to be very smart in terms of how do you want to line up these cards, and how deep do you want to go? Is your opponent holding cards because they see that you're trying to build a color? It's an interesting game. Played twice. Adam crushed me on both significantly. Both games, I got 6 points, he got 36, and then I got 6 points as well, and he got 36. So both games, same score. I lost them both. It was awful. Then we played Kemet Blood and Sand, which was great because we had 2 viewers come down from California, and they played with us. We played a 5-player game of Kemet, which I've been looking forward to doing, and it was great. So thanks for those guys coming out. I always enjoy when viewers come out and play with me. And they also played The Search for Planet X with me. That's a game that's on my shelf of shame, which is funny because it was on my these are games I need to play this year, and I played it but barely didn't play it. In fact, I think I only played about 45% of the games on my video that I said I need to play these games. So that's not very good on me. But we played Search for Planet X. Great little deduction game where you are going to be you are a scientist or an observatory, and you're trying to find Planet X in a solar system that has a lot of unknown variables, and you have to use deduction and knowledge and rules that you learn to kind of isolate and figure out where could Planet X be on this board. It's cool because the game is fully randomized, so every time you play it's going to be a new experience, and so no one can like memorize, oh, I know that with these 2 asteroids here that means that this is going to be here. Like, it's always randomized, so that's really cool. Enjoyed that a lot. And then we played on New Year's, going into New Year's, so going to the 31st. It technically recorded it as January 1st, but I think that's BS. We played Cthulhu, Death May Die, another 5-player experience game we played, and that was not my copy of game, so it's great that we played someone else's game. I've never played Cthulhu, Death May Die, and I enjoyed it. I think it was a good little beer and pretzels game, not stressful, not difficult, and just rolled some dice, killed some cultists, and moved on. So that was fun. So that was my month of gaming. I had some videos I had wanted to talk about. Oh, jeez, I was gonna just about skip something, and we're gonna get to that right now, but I need to pull up what I just had on my phone. Anyways, I had some videos that I planned on doing. I just didn't have the time to script out and write out my thoughts, so unfortunately I didn't get them, and maybe I'll make them in the future. But I think it's time now to talk about Joan of Arc and why I don't think I'll ever back another Mythic Games until they prove to me that they can get their frickin' act together. So I received, if anyone knows, I'm just pulling up the last update 131 if anyone's interested, just for reference here. I haven't opened this yet. I have opened my deluxe storage box. I opened my 1.5 corrections. I have the book of scenarios over there. So I have all that. I've held off on opening this until I made this video and whatnot. But for context's sake, I will let you know that I bought Joan of Arc in 2019 for a significant amount of money. And it was basically unplayable to the point where it just wasn't clear on what the game wanted you to do. You could play the game up to certain points, but as soon as things started triggering, there wasn't an FAQ, there wasn't an understanding of what is supposed to happen. How do these cards interact? How does this ability actually work? So the game effectively became unplayable. And so I've shelved it, and it's been sitting on the very top of my board game shelf, kind of like in no man's land, up there with Gloomhaven right now, and Tokaido, and just waiting. And so I backed the 1.5 update from Mythic and picked up the Teutonic Knights. I also picked up a few of the things that the plunder bases. I didn't have the plunder pack, so I picked up the plunder pack and a few other things that I wanted, but I didn't get a lot because I was like, you know what, I want to get this stuff, get the game fixed. If it works, if it's good, I'll pick up the rest from their storefront or whatever. I'll find a way to get up anything else that I might have missed. Well, it took 20 months for them to finally deliver this item. I pledged. This was a very early pledge for me in terms of coming back to Kickstarter. I hadn't backed very often, but it took them about 20 months for them to deliver this game. And to tell you the problems they had when they delivered this game in terms of the quality, the Q&A, the care is not there. I was so disappointed to see a company who's had so much lead time. They also had contract disputes with, I believe, the gentleman. He might not even be credited on this box anymore. Not sure what his name is. He's credited on the core set. They had a contract dispute. Fine. I'm not even concerned about that because they did deal with it. For what we don't know what they did, but they dealt with it. But during that time, you had time to work on things, play test, make sure that the samples are looking good, make sure everything is in order, and they still dropped the ball. So one of the things that was easily noticeable is the 1.5 upgrade pack that showed up. The cards, and I'll see if I can edit in some pictures here for reference, but the cards that are new are significantly worse than the cards that we are originally getting. So we have tarot-sized cards that will be replacing some of the cards that we had originally because their text wasn't good or no longer was a valid ability, so they're replacing them. The art on the new cards is washed out, not focused, kind of blurry, less detail, especially when you're looking at like the holy symbol, the unholy symbol. You can clearly tell that these games or these cards, these printings were not the same. And for reference, I would tell you to look at, like, say, a real Magic card and then a Chinese knockoff Magic card that people try to sell. You can tell that the quality of the texture is different, the art is blurry, and that's kind of what it felt like, kind of like a cheap Chinese knockoff. So that was unfortunate. Then the mini Euro cards that also came with it were cut wrong, and I think that's one of the things I have here in the update, because they do acknowledge it. The mini poker cards in the upgrade packs are 1.2 millimeter sized bigger than those included in the core box, and these are cards that are meant to be shuffled together and forming a single deck. So you have cards that are significantly bigger. And so now when I was putting away my the 1.5 kit and I got to the mini poker cards, I was like, I don't even want to do this, because it was so triggering to feel myself throwing away a card that fits to put in a card that's 1.2 millimeter sizes bigger. It just doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. So that was so that's those two experiences. The plunder banners, the banner pack that we bought, they shorted us some of the stickers that are supposed to go on there. So about 75% of the banners were completed, and about 25% of them are just bare, blank, unusable until we get the banner stickers in. The sleeve pack, if you bought the sleeves, which I did do, to sleeve the Teutonic Knights pack to make them sleeves with the original, we're shorted some sleeves, and their solution for that is to give you credit to buy more sleeves from their store once they launch that in January. I don't think that's acceptable, because we've already bought the sleeves. Give us the sleeves that we paid for that fits this, and call it good. The bases. This game features, there's nothing on the back to show you, but you have little knights that you'd be putting on bases, and they usually have about 3 knights per base. They forgot to include the bases inside the box. The scenario box, the core box, the Haynes Wolf Cross scenario, had a token that was misprinted. I didn't really care too much about that. The Devil Solo scenario, which is supposed to be inside the book, we bought a hardcover book of all the scenarios in a single place. It's supposed to be kind of like a full completion of the game. Did not include the Devil Solo scenario, so you'll have to download that as a PDF, as well as the updated battle mode, which is unfortunate. And people playing this, as soon as they got the game in Europe, because they got it in Europe earlier, played it, realized there's still mistakes. There's still FAQ, there's still errata that needs to be handled. So there'll be another errata coming. Even after 20 months of supposed playtesting, there will be another errata coming to fix this game that we've been waiting on. So I got this, going through all these errors, and on top of that, there's an RPG that's supposed to be coming out. I don't think it's ever coming out. On top of all that, Mythic then announced in update 131 that they are no longer going to be supporting Joan of Arc. They passed all of the contract rights, as well as the art and assets and mechanics, to the guy that they were in a contract dispute with, and he is now the sole owner of the Time of Legends Joan of Arc gameplay, and this will be the last time Mythic prints any of their product. And so it was just like, fuck, man, like, now I can't get any of the expansions if I chose to. I don't know if I even want to at this point, but knowing that all the problems, and maybe this is why they had lack of care and lack of desire to make the game good, because they knew that at the end of the delivery, once it was fulfilled, that they were washing their hands of it and just moving on. But it feels like a betrayal to me. I think regardless, they're going to give the contract to the other guy. That's probably one of the terms of their settlement. Again, I don't know the details of that settlement, nor do I want to even pretend I have the clue of it, but I can assume that most likely that might have been terms of it. But I just wish that they spent the time to go through and make sure things were proper and good. Kind of breaks my heart, because this is a game I've been wanting to play for freaking 4 years now. So that's that. And so I have games I've currently backed with Mythic. We're gonna ride those out, see how they do. But and I've talked about this on my Should You Back videos, that, you know, I'm leery of Mythic, but I decided to give them a shot with Pantheon, not Pantheon, Ragnarok, Rainbow Six, Hell. I think those are the 3 that I've currently backed. I don't know if I want to go through my entire history of every game I've backed. Actually, I can click. Yeah, it's just no time. But I've got games that I backed from them. But now, until I get another game from them, so if either Rainbow Six or Hell will take 5 years to show up. I don't think they're anywhere near completed on that game. Or the other game I was just talking about. I can actually see here. So Rainbow Six, I did not back that game. Oh my god. What did I back? Was it on GameFound? I'm literally losing my brain. Whatever. Rainbow Six, Hell, plus whatever I said before. I literally cannot remember. What the heck did I say? It's not Darkest Dungeon. Wasn't any of these. Right? I didn't back any of that stuff. I must be losing my mind. I'm literally losing. I literally cannot remember. Anyways, until I get a game that has come in that is a playable game with no needed 1.5 fucking things. And I don't swear on this channel very often, but I don't want another 1.5 fix Mythic. I want a game that works, okay? So until that happens, I will not be backing another one of your products. And I will actively warn people of, you know, my experience, which is an accurate representation of what I have received. So that's that. Hopefully this tangent here at the end of this podcast was good for you guys. I hope you enjoyed the show. I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up. If you guys enjoyed this, make sure you click the subscribe button, smash the like button for the YouTube algorithm. It truly does help. We're also going to be trying a new feature showing like the new subscribers and whatnot. So if you see that, check it out. And I think it'll be doing like a banner runner of like our new subscribers. I haven't seen that yet in action, but I'm trying to implement it now. So hopefully for this video, it will be live. So that's going to be it. I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you for watching the show. This is Brian from Game Brigade. I will talk to you all very soon. Bye-bye.